on that, please? And if not, can we have a proposer and a seconder, please?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you both. Right, if we move on now to item 4, which is Swansea City Waterfront Digital District Update. And we have a presentation on this, and I'd like to hand over to the officer. Hugh Mowbray, please. Yeah, if I could hand over to Hugh, please, for the presentation.
Good afternoon. I think, okay, let me, are we ready to start?
Yes, we are ready to start.
Yeah. Okay, Liz, are you going to share the presentation or am I?
I can do it, no worries.
If you can, please. Thank you.
Okay, should be done now.
Okay, this is a presentation on the Swansea City Waterfront Digital District. This is currently sort of the project which is in delivery at the moment from Swansea, and it is comprised of projects from Swansea and from Trinity St David's. So it's a composite project in that respect. Can you go on to the next slide, Liz? There are 3 main elements of the project. The first one is the digital square and arena, which is part of a larger scheme, which is now largely complete, and it's been delivered in the core city centre of Swansea. The element which is still outstanding is the hotel, which is next to that, which is a private sector delivery, which is now actually making some progress, because there are funding issues linked to COVID and the day one values of the hotel. So we'll come on to that. The next element is another Swansea project, which is 7172 Kingsway, which is 115,000 square foot of flexible office accommodation based on tech industries. That is now on site and is due for completion towards the end of the year as well. And the third element of the overall project is the Trinity St David's side of things, which is the innovation matrix and the innovation precinct. And this is about 34,000 square foot of the first building, which is all about bringing new students, businesses to life, who start their life off in the university, and this makes the project, turns the business ideas into reality with starter space, and then hopefully when they grow they would move into the likes of 7172 the Kingsway. So there's a link between those projects as well. There's a second phase of that, which is the innovation matrix, which is a ongoing discussion between us and Trinity and with the City Deal programme office team as well. Okay, Liz, if you go on the next slide.
There you go.
That's an image of the arena as it is today. It started back in 2017. The arena element is now complete, and it opened for trading just under a year ago in March 2022. The hotel is, as I mentioned earlier, is moving forward. The issue there has been that sort of the value or the cost of delivery of the hotel is not matched by the value of the hotel day one. So there is some financial support needed, which has been a package is being discussed with Welsh Government at the moment on that. So I'm hoping that we'll have some positive news to move that forward fairly shortly. So that is something which is a key component of the overall scheme. The arena itself has a capacity of 3,400 in concert mode, so that's the largest capacity you can accommodate there. 2,400 in seated mode for theatre or comedy or that sort of thing, and it's very flexible in that it's got sort of you can draw a wall across the top element of the seating, which creates an auditorium for 700 whilst you can still have a conference going on the floor. And there are a lot of meeting rooms to support the conferencing as well, and that's going very well at the moment. They've had about 56 events to date, and they've sold 145,000 tickets. So it's going very well despite the COVID issues, and despite this was on site all the way through COVID. The park, you can see there, it's not actually part of the City Deal project, but that's a 1.1 acre coastal park with a cafe unit in it, and this is above 2 layers of multi-story car parking, and that has gone down very well with the public, and it's very well used at the moment, and it's all there to support the living and working element of the strategy, the council strategy, to get more people working and living in the city centre. And that's what the arena is also driving further success for the city. And we are looking to do sort of an economic benefits analysis after the completion of the first year. There's some anecdotal evidence to date from the local papers which are indicating that there is a real bounce in spend and people numbers when events are happening in the city centre, and businesses are seeing the benefit of that, which is again a real positive. So that's actually moving forward. Okay, Liz, if you can go on the next slide. 7172 the Kingsway. Swansea does not have an office market in reality. It's all been built out on the enterprise zone for the last 30 years. So we need to try and start an office market off in the city centre. And going back to the discussion on Trinity and Swansea University, to be honest with you, student businesses which start, there is nowhere for them to go in Swansea, or very little places for them to go. So we've lost a lot of high caliber students and businesses to Cardiff, to Bristol and beyond, to be honest with you, because of that space. So this is really targeted at high-end jobs in terms of tech businesses to carry on from the good work the universities are doing in terms of creating new businesses coming out of the university, graduating, but the graduates that graduate from the universities. This is now on site with Bouygues as a contractor, and it is basically looking for completion towards the end of this year. It is challenged, as we all know, in terms of the construction industry at the moment. So that is an issue, and we've got an ongoing discussion and dialogue with Bouygues, the contractor. We were lucky enough to get a fixed price contract when we went to the market on this. So it's working with the contractor to see how we can help support them through the process, I guess, is the key issue there. We've got the programme. There have been some minor delays, but it's generally on track, and it'll finish towards the end of this year, at which time we will then be doing a final fit out for the tenants to actually come into the building. We're building this with the council's beyond bricks and mortar policy, which means that we are working with local people, local subcontractors, and creating targeted training and recruitment weeks, which is going well at the moment. We're waiting for some reports on that from the contractor, but it's something which is we embed in all of the projects which we take forward. The letting strategy, we've got Jones Lang LaSalle and Avison Young appointed as joint agents to let this building, and that letting process is ongoing. And we are about to sign the first 25,000 square foot, which the heads of terms are now agreed on that, and we're in the market for further tenants to look at this. So that's another positive. We've updated the City Deal business case because this has moved from outline business case through the process to full business case now because of the tendering process and where we are. And the key next steps on this is completing the construction program and getting the tenants into place to enable to fill the building, which would then create about 600 jobs in the area to supplement the Kingsway. And it's back to what I said about the council's policy about bringing footfall into the city centre through living and working, which is a real positive. So next slide, Liz. This is the Trinity St David's element. This is the Innovation Matrix and Innovation Precinct. The first building there is the Matrix, and that is now moving to start on site, which is looking to create the opportunity for students to stay in the area, to stay in the region, and actually create businesses which come out of their studies from the university. The second building is the Innovation Matrix, and we are in discussion on that one with Trinity as to the location of that, and with the PMO in terms of how we deal with that through any change requests. So it's all moving forward. There have been some funding changes which were done through a change request through the city deal. So that project is moving forward at pace now as well. If we can go to the next slide, Liz. Risks. Always risks, and there's a lot of mitigations for us as well, luckily. Construction costs, as I've mentioned, have gone through the roof recently. We've mitigated this on all our certainly on the Arena and 7172 projects, in terms of having fixed price contracts on both of those. So that is minimising the council's risk in terms of cost overspend. And we are looking to work with the contractors to try and find ways of working with them to make things to get things to move forward, which is a real positive as well. In terms of private sector funding, the hotel element is a large element of the private sector funding which goes into this project, which I'm hoping we're going to have a fairly positive announcements on that very, very, very shortly. The other element is the fit out of the offices. And we have been reporting that whilst it's not an issue yet because we haven't got to that detailed position, where we were expecting to see private sector fit out on some of those, COVID has had an impact on tenants and how they deal with things, and we will have to report back on that in due course. We're constantly reviewing risks through the risk register, etc., and that is something which is monitored and dealt with on a monthly basis. Okay, Liz, if you go to the next one. Business cases, we started this in 2017 with the initial business cases, and there have been a number of iterations of that, and we've got the latest iteration, which is this year in June. This year basically, which is moving the projects through the process to the tender stages. So the business case is a live document, and that gets updated as we go through the project. And the next stage really is to update the Trinity aspects as they grow, as the pace of those projects moves and comes forward. So lots of positives there, and obviously a lot of detail in the original business case are obviously signed off by UK and Welsh Government. If you can go to the next slide, Liz. One of the key aspects which has happened recently is a PAR gateway review, which is just before Christmas, and there was an external team came in to review this project. It's an independent team through the Welsh Government Assurance Hub, and they spent 3 days in Swansea sifting through an awful lot of information, and they gave the project an amber green outcome, and that is basically because there's still elements which are still in delivery in essence, but they did recognise a number of key things which are there in the boxes. I won't go through them all, but they recognise the sort of the project management aspect. They recognise the ability to get the fixed price contracts in place. So there's a lot of issues in there which they did recognise, and the benefits in terms of the business case, which they were recommending, which we're going to be doing anyway, is reviewing the economic benefits of some of these things in due course. So a lot of positives and a very good independent report on this as an overall business case. Liz, if you can go on to the next one. In terms of the gateway this is the recommendations from that report. So this is an ongoing process which we're working through at the moment, in terms of a number of key recommendations from that report. And there are things to tighten up some of the governance, the review of the economic benefits, etc. So they're all positive, and we're working through all of these, and we can deliver the outcomes of all these which this requires in that respect. So I think that's where we are. That's the final slide. So that's a fairly speedy update, to be honest with you, on the project and where we are at the moment. So happy to take any questions if you've got any.
Thank you very much for that presentation, Hugh. I'll open the floor now to any questions that you've got for the officer, please. I can't see no hands raised for any questions, so I'd like to thank you very much, Hugh, for your presentation, and have a nice day.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Cheers.
Right, if we move on to item 4, Swansea City and Waterfront Digital. Oh, sorry, item 5, supporting innovation and low carbon growth process update. If we can bring the officer in for that, please.
Okay, that's me. Good afternoon, Neath Willis. I'm online. I'll just share my screen. Okay, good afternoon. I'm Lisa Willis. I'm Strategic Funding Programmes Manager for Neath Talbot Council, and the City Deal, the 2 projects that Neath Talbot leading on are within my remit at the council. So apologies from Brett Siddell. He's the Programme Manager for the Low Carbon Growth Programme. He's on a 4-day course this week, so I'm standing in for him. And this is to give City Deal Joint Scrutiny Committee an update on progress to date on the Support and Innovation and Low Carbon Growth Programme. Just to recap, so the Support and Innovation Low Carbon Growth Programme is, we've secured £57.7 million of City Deal funding, and that is to deliver a programme of 7 interlinked projects. And the aim of the programme is to look at decarbonisation and proof of concept of buildings as well, and looking to support the decarbonisation industry. So there are 7 interlinked projects. There's Bay Technology Centre, the South Wales Transition from Carbon Hub, the Advanced Manufacturing Production Facility. They're the 3 major capital projects. We've also got a Property Development Fund, a low emission vehicle charging infrastructure, air quality monitoring project, and a hydrogen stimulus programme with University of South Wales. The business case was approved in August 21, and Brett, the programme manager, was appointed in March 2022. So he's been with us nearly just under a year. I'll just give you an overview of the progress to date on the individual projects. The Bay Technology Centre at on Bagley Energy Park in Neath Talbot is complete. Construction is completed in January 2022. It was the handover completed in July, and it's the first commercial energy positive building in Wales. It's won 3 awards already, linked to net zero. We've got tenants on site. Oh, sorry, I've just switched my screen. Sorry, my slides have gone. Let me share. So we've got tenants on site, and we've got a number of tenants ready to sign head of terms. Sorry. Right, my slides have gone funny. I've got glitches with my system today. Can people confirm that they can see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So these are the images of the technology centre, which has been built. So these are all PV panels integrated into the facade of the building, and that's the colour coordinated interior of the building. And I see there's lots of pipeline tenants signing head of terms at the moment. The South Wales Industrial Transition from Carbon Hub, that's we've gone out to procurement via the South West Wales Regional Contractors Framework, and we're due to appoint a contractor any day now. And it's a design and build contract. Swansea University are a delivery partner for the project, and it's a facility to look at the decarbonisation of the steel and metals industry, but also looking at decarbonisation industrial process as a whole. There are a number of smaller projects linked to the decarbonisation theme. We've got a hydrogen stimulus project that's linked in with the University of South Wales, and that's looking to take the excess renewable energy from the Bay Technology Centre and convert it to hydrogen. So preparatory works have been undertaken, and University of South Wales is due to purchase the kit shortly. There's an air quality monitoring project, and we're trialling low-cost mobile sensors to measure air quality and to look to validate the technology in that. So Ricardo, who work with Welsh Government looking at air quality monitoring, they have undertaken year 1 review, and a presentation has been given to stakeholders on the data. That's an ongoing project, and we're looking to develop a low emission vehicle roadmap for Neath Talbot to roll out across the region to ensure a joint approach to low emission vehicles. I mentioned the Advanced Manufacturing Production Facility, and that is going to be constructed on Baglan Energy Park, and that's looking to support spin-outs from university, similar to what Swansea doing with tech businesses. They're looking to the advanced manufacturing businesses. So we're capturing the talent emerging from universities, looking to see where they can pilot line their products and developments, and to capture that talent within the region. We're also looking to develop to integrate skills into this project to ensure that we've got the skills necessary for future projects. So that we're looking to go out for design and build contracts in the next few months on that. Then we've got the Property Development Fund. We've been heavily oversubscribed for this. This is looking to provide gap funding for the private sector to develop property along the Talbot waterfront area of Neath Talbot. That's Harbourside, Baglan Energy Park and Baglan Industrial Estate area. And we are going through the shortlisting of the stage 1 applications and to invite the shortlisted to stage 2. In terms of assurance, we've had a number of assurance reviews. We had Neath Talbot's internal audit November last year, and they gave us a clean bill of health, and we had the highest rating possible for internal audit. We've also had a number of gateway reviews, and we had good progress on that. And we've got another gateway review planned for mid to end of 2023. As a result of the collaboration work as part of the low carbon growth programme, we've submitted a bid to Innovate UK at a consortium of South Wales local authorities, Net Zero Industry Wales and Welsh universities to look at launch pads across the area, so we can target funding, Innovate UK funding at the needs of the local businesses. We're still awaiting an outcome on that. In terms of a forward plan,
yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt, Lisa.
Yeah.
We've lost one of our councillors, so we're just going to have to stop the meeting for a minute so we can try and contact them again.
Okay.
Sorry.